Hi there, this is a 5th Gen OU upload with my Frankie base team. I did have to go back and change all the sets to update for the current metagame, but other than that, I feel like this is probably going to be as solid as this team is going to get for the current metagame, so I do think that I'll probably stick with this for a lot of future OU uploads. I'm going to lead off with Tyranitar against his Thundurus. I am running the max HP, max special defense Chople variant that I posted on my site, but I'm actually going to go for Stealth Rock instead of Rock Slide to take out his Thundurus, because just based on the fact that he led with it, it might be one of those sets with U-turn. It's probably an inferior set compared to the Nasty Plot Sweeper, but I definitely don't want to risk it, and getting up Stealth Rock early in the match is definitely a better option overall. So I'm going to go into Scizor on his Jirachi as he goes for Stealth Rock, and I'm just going to go for Bug Bite scouting the Fire Punch because I can definitely live it considering he's probably running a defensive set, and if I go for a Swords Dance, he'll just be able to KO me with Fire Punch anyway, so that will kind of be a waste. And he does reveal the Fire Punch. It's not really that common of a move on the specially defensive set because most will go for Wish and Protect, but that does mean that Scizor won't be able to wall his set, so I'm going to switch to Landorus on the Fire Punch, and he's going to take that very nicely and threaten him out with a possible Earthquake. So I'm going to predict the switch to Gliscor and actually go for a substitute on the switch. This is also another set that I posted on my site, so you can kind of see some of my stuff in action. He does go to the Gliscor as I thought, and I get up a substitute, which is really good because I also am carrying HP Ice, which I should be able to use to get Gliscor out of the way, and that should hopefully open up some possible sweeps for Excadrill in the future. So I am going to go for the HP Ice. I believe it does have a possible chance to one-hit KO after Stealth Rock, but he does manage to hang on in the red, so that's definitely going to manage to cripple him though. And he definitely won't be able to wall Excadrill later. Probably isn't going to switch out either because I don't believe that he has any other good switch-ins to Landorus, so I'm just going to go for another Hidden Power Ice. Probably could have gone for a sub otherwise because if he had any other switch-ins then I would predict that to come in, but since he doesn't, just going for a second HP Ice seems like a pretty good option overall. So now he's going to switch into Scrafty. Not really sure which set this is running. It's either going to be Bulk Up or Dragon Dance. If it's the latter, then he's definitely going to have Ice Punch, but Landorus has already pretty much finished his job, and if he decides to go for a boost, I'll be able to do some prior damage with Earthquake. So I do hit him with that Earthquake while he goes for Dragon Dance, getting that boost up. Does mean that he's probably going to outspeed me now though, so I'm going to switch to Slowbro on the Ice Punch. Slowbro, by the way, is my current favorite physical wall. He's only found on about 3% of all teams, so he's pretty anti-metagame, and I do manage to switch into that Ice Punch nicely. I'm also going to be able to live a boosted Crunch pretty well because I'm really bulky and I have Regenerator, which is just going to manage to heal me for 33% just by switching out, so that does make Slowbro pretty difficult to take down. I'm going to go for the Scald. It's not really going to do that much to Scrafty, but I do get a burn. If I didn't get the burn, then I would have just switched to Scizor on the second Crunch and finished him off with Bullet Punch. But in this case, that burn is going to be enough to finish him off after Sandstorm damage and the prior damage from Landorus' Earthquake, so he's going to switch back into his Jirachi at this point. I do not know the complete moveset that he's running, just in case he has like a mix set with Thunderbolt for Slowbro and Bulky Waters. I'm going to go to Scizor and pretty much just sacrifice it as death fodder. But he actually just goes for the Iron Head, so that means he really doesn't have anything to deal with Slowbro. I'm going to switch out again and go to Landorus just like earlier on the Fire Punch. And I probably could have just left in Scizor and not have risk like the 20% burn rate again, but it is pretty invaluable to have something you can switch in as death fodder and regain momentum in a match. That's definitely really useful in some cases. So I am going to switch back into Landorus, and Fire Punch does hardly anything, of course. Since I've already gotten rid of Gliscor, he doesn't really seem to have any good switch-ins to Landorus, so rather than just waste my time with a substitute and take away 20% of my health, I'm just going to finish off his Jirachi with Earthquake. That definitely is a guaranteed one-hit KO, by the way, even if he's at full health. He's going to switch into his Heracross. That is one of the few physical threats that Slowbro doesn't do that well against, and it's probably not going to do too much to Landorus either, but I definitely want to stay in and scout the set, just see what he's running. I do outspeed, which means he's not running a Choice Scarf set. I could have switched to Scizor also as death fodder, but one thing I also wanted to mention is Scizor's priority is also really useful on this team in case I need to finish something off. He goes into his Dragonite on the Earthquake, and I thought that he might want to finish me off with an extreme speed, otherwise he wouldn't have sent it in. Then again, he could have sent it in before Heracross anyway, so I'm just going to go for a Hidden Power Ice, and that's going to finish off his Dragonite. Don't really understand his thought process, but I'm not really questioning it here. He's just going to go for a Fire Punch, but even that's not going to KO because I managed to hang on barely. Landorus is not really that bulky, but a Fire Punch is definitely not a very strong attack at all, especially since Dragonite is running bulkier sets and not really as much attack investment as it used to. Anyway, Landorus is not going to be too useful anymore since he's at such low health. He goes into his Heracross again, but since I am faster, I'm going to just stay in and finish him off with an Earthquake. That is going to bring him down to his last Pokemon, Thundurus, but that definitely won't be able to sweep the rest of my team because I do have some pretty solid checks to it. Both Excadrill and Tyranitar can manage to take it out. I definitely could conserve a 6-0 here, but I'm not going to because I'm definitely not the person to do that. It increases risk, and it also makes you seem pretty arrogant, so I definitely never do that. I'm just going to get off a final Hidden Power Ice. Somehow I outspeed, so I don't even know what's going on anymore. I guess he's running like a Modest set or something. I don't know. But anyway, that does mean that I'm going to be able to bring in Excadrill pretty much for free. As long as I don't miss Rock Slide, then I will be able to finish him off. And even then, I do have Tyranitar as a backup check. So thanks for watching, guys. Next upload will definitely be UU, by the way.